I'm going to do my toy analysis on Sophie the giraffe and how it can be used during therapy. Sophie the giraffe is actually a teething toy, but it could just be a squeaker toy, just a favorite toy for a child to play with. It is most appropriate for children ages 0 to 2 years old. It has a long lifespan because it helps with teething. It's made of rubber, and young children 0 months could see the different contrasting colors, light and dark. And it squeaks, they can hear it. They can touch the rubber feeling, and they can taste it during teething. It is not typically associated with either gender. A boy or a girl could get the same amount of enjoyment out of it. There could be some cultural associations. This toy would predominantly be used in an individualized play culture, such as the United States. Our text by Kay Smith describes the Mayan culture and how they focus on interacting with other age groups, so this might not be the best toy for interactive play. This toy can help develop gross motor skills, hand-to-mouth movement to lift Sophie from the ground and place into the mouth. If somebody hides Sophie and squeaks it under a blanket, then the child could crawl, walk, roll, or scoot to find Sophie. And this also develops fine motor skills, such as grasping Sophie with the hands, biting, chewing, or sucking on Sophie, and squeezing Sophie to make her squeak. There are some cognitive requirements. The child needs the ability to recognize Sophie as a toy and to pick it up to play with it. Perceptual requirements for the toy is the use of the senses, touch, hearing, sight, taste, to explore Sophie. The social emotional aspects when using this toy is the parent or caregiver can engage in social emotional development with the child if they play together with Sophie, and this interaction supports the infant's arousal needs and forms a secure attachment with the parent. There are some safety precautions. You need to make sure that Sophie stays intact. With repeated use, the rubber could break down and the child could choke on a piece, or the paint could wear off and be ingested by the child. So if that happens, purchase a new Sophie. And also make sure that the child does not put Sophie in their mouth too far down the throat, because it could cause them to choke. So in Pygate's theory, Sophie is associated with the first stage of cognitive development, the sensory motor. And this stage is limited because it's based on physical experiences. And the child also develops object permanence during this stage. This is when the child understands that an object exists even though they can't see or hear it. So the child would need to remember that Sophie exists and go look for it to play with it. For Parsons' theory, this toy is associated with unoccupied play and solitary play. For unoccupied play, the child is relatively stationary and appears to be doing random movements with no apparent purpose. And the child could, a young child could use a reflexive grasp to play with Sophie and kind of move it around with no purpose. And there's also solitary play, and this is when the child is completely engrossed in playing and does not see or notice other children around them. So the child could play with Sophie in that way. If a child has a disability, such as they are unable to grasp with two hands, Sophie could be stabilized on a solid surface, maybe a high chair, tray, or a table, and then they can use one hand to play with Sophie or put Sophie in their mouth. The OT could stabilize Sophie using a clamp, or even they could stabilize it on the bar of the play gym, allowing the child to use one hand to play. I would recommend this toy because it involves many of the senses, and the child can feel its rubbery plastic. They can hear the toy squeak. They can visually explore the toy with the light and dark colors, and they could explore oral sensations when chewing on it and teething. So this will be a very important toy for my child when she starts teething, maybe starting in 3 months. Who knows? And that's all I have. Thank you.